Hey, what's going on, everyone? How are you doing? Happy Monday. No, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Boy, I'm off on my days. Welcome. This is day 92 of the Daily Dose of Mind stuff. And today, just finished up with my day 2 of the MasterClass that we are doing, the science of manifestation, uh, decoding the live vibrations, frequencies, law of attraction, and we had a great day 2. And I just want to go ahead and share with you a little snippet of that preview so you can see kind of what we went over. This is just going to be a small snippet of, I think we were on for about just about an hour, but here's a snippet of what we went through today, and I think it's you're going to get a lot of value out of it.
Now, there's two things you must know if you're going to live your dream. Not too difficult. One is where you are, and the other is where you're going. And then you got to get going there. Now, this is so simple. It's so obvious. Why do most people miss it? I want you to think. If you study statistics, go to the actuarial department of any of the large insurance companies. They've got all these down pat. And all these people deal with those numbers. Drive me crazy, but that's what they do. And they will point out to you that there's only 5 or 6% of all the people who are financially independent. 5 or 6 out of 100, 90-some percent are struggling. They're having trouble making ends meet. And yet, this is a simple secret. Know where you are and where you're going. It's so simple. Most people say, well, they mustn't have goals. Well, some of them do. Some of them do. And that's what I used to think the problem was. But I found out the problem is right here. Here's what the problem is: where you are. You see, where you are is controlled by the paradigm. The paradigm is that demon that has us locked into where we are. This is so obvious as you start studying this. Now, this is really a black and white situation. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how many hours you put in. If the paradigm does not change, the results will ultimately remain much the same from one year to the next. And that's the way people go through life. It's rather sad, but it's true. Now, let's take a look at the areas of your life your paradigm has enormous influence over. It has an enormous influence over your perception. That's how you see things. It controls how you see anything. Your perception controls your use of time. Do you know that everybody gets exactly the same amount of time? We get all there is. So it's what we do with our time that makes a difference. You hear about time management programs. You can't manage time. Time cannot be managed. All we can manage is activities. So start managing. Forget about trying to manage time. Manage activities, okay? Your creativity, your paradigm controls the creativity. Now, we're all creative. We got this awesome power locked up within, but we've got a lock on it. That's called a paradigm. It controls your effectiveness, and your effectiveness, we know, controls your productivity. Let's suppose you're a salesperson, and you just shift one thing, make an enormous difference in your life. Now, logic. You know, there's certain people, if they had let logic control them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Let's take the Wright brothers. If the Wright brothers had let logic controlled, we'd have never been introduced to the area of flight. Here's 2 young bicycle mechanics in Dayton, Ohio, in the United States. Way back 1903, they introduced us to the kingdom of flight. If they had let logic control them, they'd have never done it. Because logic said anything heavier than air is attracted towards the center of the world. You can't use it. Now, here's another one. Logic controls your ability to earn money. That's one I know you want to change. Well, look at this. This is very important. When you think about this, it's like there's a wall around you. Do you see that wall? Well, the second you make up your mind you're going to change the paradigm, the wall comes down. But while you're trying to operate without changing it, you go to move in any of these areas and you'll hit the wall and bounce back. It won't work. But when you knock that wall down, you can take any of these areas and really improve. Now, look, let's look at this closely. If you say, I'm going to change just one area, just imagine how your entire life would change as you begin improving any or all of these areas. The change is huge. And I'll tell you something else, and it's permanent. Quite interesting. Now, look here. Let's suppose you just worked at changing your perception. Do you know that would probably multiply your income? If you just worked at changing your perception, I don't care what it is you're looking at, get looking at it from another point of view. That's how the world's improved. People changing their perception of something, and they see something different. Your ability to earn money will change dramatically.
So that's just a little section that we took out from today's training. Super important to understand a lot of that stuff. You know, like Bob said, we have to know where we are and where we're going. In the training, he talked about, you know, being honest. We have to be honest with ourselves, because we're talking about changing paradigms. We're talking about being able to get on the frequency, the vibration of what it is that we want, so that we can attract to us what it is that we want. So we're in harmony and we become one with what it is that we want. When we get on that frequency, we're in harmony with it. And he went over that today just in an amazing way. And we have to be honest, because we're looking at changing paradigms, like he was just explaining there. When we start to change any one of those paradigms that were in that box, you know, because the paradigms, they control our logic, our perception, our use of time, you know, all of those things. But most people try to change those, but they're not changing the paradigm. Therefore, the results and the change is temporary. It's not permanent. When we change the paradigm, the results are permanent. You don't go back. And that's what we're going over in this class. So if you are not registered and you haven't been on the live session, I encourage you to register. The description is in the link below. There is let's see if I can do it here. There's the website, mindstuffforsuccess.com/free event. You can register. The replays are in our private Facebook group. They'll be there till the end of the week, till Monday. So if you're just coming in now, you've got time to catch up and watch day 1 and day 2. Tomorrow is day 3, and I'll probably do a recap of it also. But we're looking at changing the paradigms. Bob went over today what a paradigm is, how it's formed, and how we can change it. Because, like he said, it's a black and white deal. If we don't change the paradigm, we're going to get the same results. And look at your results. Look at what you've been doing, and look, you know, we're getting towards the end of the year. At the beginning of the year till now, how have your results changed? Are they much the same as they've been? Have you been trying to change your results? And it comes to the end of the year. I know for years this was me. You know, I would set my goals at the beginning of the year and start hard and just start going after it. And then at the end of the year, I would look and go, I don't know what happened, but I'm in the exact same position that I was a year ago. And that gets to be very frustrating, especially when someone studies this type of information, because the paradigm's not changing. You can watch as many videos as you want on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever you find, until you change the paradigm and actually get through the work. And the best way to do that is to have someone guide you through or coach you through and hold you accountable to actually doing the work that needs to be done to make the change of the paradigm. Because the stuff that I'm going over with you and what Bob just shared, you can take that, and, you know, the biggest error would be to look at that and go, oh yeah, I know that. you may know it on an intellectual level, but it may be something that you're aware of, but you really don't understand it. So we're going over how to change paradigms, how to really get a better understanding of all of this on this 5-day masterclass. So I encourage you to join us on this masterclass. Today was day 2, so we've got a few more days left to go. Come and join us. And if you got value out of this, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully on the masterclass. This is Ed Reiner. Peace. God bless.